A new war breaking out between the states. PayPal pulls out of North Carolina, and 40% of evangelical Republicans apparently don't believe that the Bible is the Word of God. This is SkyWatch TV for Thursday, April 7th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First up, more to the story, as I expected, the so-called Panama Papers that I told you about on Tuesday. I'll try to get through this quickly and hopefully make some sense out of this. Releases are coming fast and furious about this stash of 11 million documents that were obtained from a Panamanian law firm called Mossack Fonseca. Don't know how the documents got leaked or wound up in the hands of a group called the International Coalition of Investigative Journalists, but there they are. A number of world leaders and their families had their private offshore tax havens revealed and disclosed by the disclosure of these documents. The most ironic revelation was probably that the president of the Chilean branch of Transparency International was hiding money in offshore accounts. Transparency International is a corporation, an organization rather, based in Germany that monitors and exposes corporate and political corruption around the world. Awkward. But as I speculated on Tuesday, Iceland's Prime Minister Sigmundur David Gunnlaugsson has in fact resigned after disclosure of his private offshore account to which he received payments during Iceland's banking crisis in 2007 and 2008. But when you start digging into this, here's where things begin getting interesting. Again, this group that's releasing these documents calls itself the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Now, unlike WikiLeaks, which, when it gets its hands on a stash of documents like this, publishes everything to the internet and lets the chips fall where they may, the ICIJ is being selective about what gets released, and that is what's interesting, because the documents that they're releasing appear to all be related to people who are enemies of George Soros, who just happens to be a financial supporter of the ICIJ, the United States, and or old global banking interests, old money. So, how does this shake out? What does this in fact mean? Well, Gunnlaugsson, we'll take him for example, the former Prime Minister of Iceland. He played hardball with the bankers in Iceland during the banking crisis. You see, the banks there wanted to get a bailout, like the ones the American taxpayers, you and me, gave to the banks here, because, they were too big to fail. Well, people in Iceland essentially told their banks to pound sand and nationalized some of them, and now Gunnlaugsson is out of a job. Now, that doesn't make what he did right or moral, but it is interesting to note that he is paying a penalty for his offshore tax haven when other global elites who did the same thing are not. So, as with anything reported in the major media, there's one important question that has to be asked. Qui bene? Who benefits from the release of this particular information? In this case, it is certainly not, the nation of Panama, where Mossack Fonseca, the law firm at the center of this, is based, or places that have traditionally been tax shelters for global elites like the Bahamas, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, or the British Virgin Islands. They apparently are paying a price for the success of Mossack Fonseca in setting up tax shelters for global elites. So who benefits? Well, from the It's Probably Not a Coincidence file, Business Week reported a couple of months ago that the world's new favorite tax haven is the United States, and in particular, the states of Nevada, Wyoming, and South Dakota. And which company is benefiting from this new status as a tax haven? Rothschild, the old European banking company family, which has set up a trust company in Reno, Nevada. And Rothschild is busy moving the wealth of foreign clients from those offshore havens like the Caymans to Nevada, where trusts are exempt from new international financial disclosure laws. So the bottom line, it appears that this disclosure, the Panama Papers, by a group backed and funded by George Soros, is a controlled release aimed at punishing those who would dare oppose the global banking cabal. And in other news, U.S. Navy has intercepted a shipment of weapons from Iran headed for the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Seizure took place in the Arabian Sea March 28th. This is the third intercept of Iranian weapons in recent weeks. This load included 1,500 AK-47 rifles, 200 rocket-propelled grenade launchers, and 21 50 caliber machine guns. The Navy let the crew of the vessel go after seizing the weapons. The Chief of Staff of Iran's armed forces, Major General Hassan Firouzabadi, had some choice words for President Obama Tuesday. The general was responding to recent comments by the president that Iran was not abiding by the spirit of the nuclear agreement reached last July. General Firouzabadi said, "We studied the details of the agreement, and all we saw was text. We don't have any information about its spirit." In other words, we're going to do what we want. Things are getting testy here at home between states of the Union. Almost a new war between the states, if you will. The governor of Mississippi, Phil Bryant, signed a bill on Tuesday that allows private and public businesses to refuse service to same-sex couples based on the employer's religious beliefs. The bill's stated goal is to protect those who believe that marriage, well, is marriage. One man, one woman, and that sexual relations should only take place inside marriage, and that male and female genders are unchangeable. That is a biological fact, by the way. Of course, there are plenty of people out there who disagree with these truths, which we hold to be self-evident. So, one of those who disagrees is Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. He immediately issued an executive order banning all non-essential state travel by New York state officials to Mississippi. Last week, he banned all non-essential state travel by New York state officials to the state of North Carolina, following that state's enactment of a law barring transgender individuals from using bathrooms other than those that are appropriate for their biological sex. PayPal, by the way, the company that facilitates transfer of funds online, it responded to the law in North Carolina by canceling plans to build a new facility in North Carolina. It had planned to open a global operations center in Charlotte, employing about 400 people. Now, PayPal is a known supporter of LGBT rights. It earned a 100% ranking on the Human Rights Campaign Foundation's Corporate Equality Index. Of course, that index only tracks equality as it relates to how people of, LGBT orientation are treated. So it appears we need to start looking for another way to transfer money through the internet. More victims of the witch hunt against Christian business owners, by the way, from our former stomping grounds. An Illinois couple fined $80,000 last week for refusing to host a same-sex wedding ceremony. Jim and Beth Walder, owners of the Timber Creek Bed and Breakfast near Paxton, Illinois, a town I'm familiar with, cute little, very historic downtown area. They were fined by the state's Human Rights Commission last week, ordered to pay $15,000 apiece for emotional distress to the two men who filed the complaint, plus $50,000 in their attorney's fees and court costs. Jim Walder issued a statement, said that his bed and breakfast will not host same-sex weddings or civil union ceremonies, regardless of the ruling, adding in his statement that it appears religious freedom does not exist within the Illinois Religious Freedom and Civil Union Act or the Illinois Religious Freedom and Marriage Fairness Act. And interestingly, Illinois would be one of the states targeted by a bill currently being considered by the state assembly in California. A lawmaker there proposed using the state and state officials as a weapon against those who dare oppose the LGBT agenda. State Assembly member Evan Lowe introduced a bill in February that would ban travel by California state employees to any state that has a religious liberty bill considered discriminatory against LGBTs. Apparently, Mr. Lowe hadn't thought through the wording of his bill all the way. The bill is being revised to accommodate some powerful state officials who say that the bill as written would prevent them from conducting essential state business. And there are 21 states, including Illinois, with versions of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act on their books. So in addition to making it impossible for state officials to travel to states like Illinois, Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, Virginia, to conduct state business, the bill could potentially prevent sports teams from the University of California, USC, UCLA, from traveling to any of those states to participate in sporting events, football, basketball, sports programs that bring millions of dollars in revenue into the state university system in California. Say Arizona, Texas, Florida, Virginia, Nebraska, Tennessee, et cetera, et cetera. So the bill is being revised and still in consideration in the state assembly. As it has been revised, it would now only apply to those states that passed a Religious Freedom Restoration Act after June of 2015. So would thus be limited to Indiana, Arkansas, North Carolina, and Mississippi. Now, Assemblyman Lowe has also sponsored another bill, also working its way through the state assembly, that would cut off Cal Grant, that student aid to private colleges and university students, especially those attending religious institutions that are deemed not LGBT friendly. Lowe said that there is no room for discrimination of any kind in California and will certainly not be tolerated beyond our borders. In other words, intending to use California's economic importance to the rest of the nation to tell us in flyover land how then we should live. Of course, discrimination doesn't count if you are one of those religious types who tends to believe in a biblical definition of marriage, gender, or morality. In Colorado, apparently the indoctrination starts early. A 4-year-old was kicked out of a preschool in Denver after her mother questioned the curriculum there, openly promoting homosexual behavior and transgenderism. The mother wanted her child to opt out of classroom discussions on sexuality, same-sex relations, and gender issues. Again, remember, 4 years old, at the Montview Community Preschool and Kindergarten, a private school in Denver. She was told that the discussions were part of the school's anti-bias curriculum, and because the discussions were embedded throughout the school day, opting out was not an option. So the mother had a conversation with the school's principal, and 2 days later, her daughter came home with a note saying that this was her daughter's last day at the school because not a good fit. New research indicates that nearly 4 in 10 Republican voters who call themselves born again or evangelical don't believe the Bible is the literal Word of God. This is based on an analysis by the Pew Research Center. Some analysts looking at this research question whether people telling exit pollsters at state primaries that they are born again or evangelical are really evangelicals at all. I mean, it would seem that if you don't accept that the Bible is literally the Word of God, borrowing a phrase from the movie Princess Bride, you keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means. I want to let you know that Nita Horn's inspiring new biography, No Fences, is now available for pre-order. We've been talking about this for some time on SkyWatch TV. And when you order a copy of the book, No Fences, which, by the way, keep facial tissue on hand when you're reading the book. It is very emotional and very inspiring. You'll also receive a free journal so you can begin recording your own story. Leave a legacy for your children and grandchildren about the challenges and that you've encountered and overcome with the help of God, the things that God has done in your life. A free journal, $20 value, plus a plastic pony. And you'll have to read the biography, No Fences, to find out what the plastic pony is all about. Details on that and how you can be published and tell your story to the rest of the world. You'll find that posted at skywatchtv.com. We are expanding our program offerings online and on our SkyWatch TV channel at Roku. If you haven't yet, check out Into the Multiverse, a look each week at the very fabric of reality, the fabric of creation itself, hosted by Josh Peck and Christina Peck. And of course, Sci Friday with my best friend and wife, just referred to around here as the smart one, Sharon K. Gilbert. That is also online at our SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. And you'll find exclusive web content at the SkyWatch TV channel on YouTube. There are interviews that we've done over the past year that we just could not fit into our broadcast television schedule, and so we've decided to make those available to you online. You'll find a link at skywatchtv.com to our official YouTube channel, and don't forget while you're there to click the button to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be notified every time we post a new program. And if you want SkyWatch TV on the go, an audio version is available, the SkyWatch TV podcast. All of these daily updates are interviews and the regular SkyWatch TV program available in audio format that you can take with you on your smartphone, tablet, or MP3 player. You'll find the link in the top menu bar at skywatchtv.com. Our discussion on SkyWatch TV this week is about the green movement and how it is actually a return to pagan nature worship. In fact, taking us all the way back to the Tower of Babel. Sheila Zielinski, author of Green Gospel, The New World Religion, is our guest. If you haven't seen the program yet, you've got another opportunity on Saturday, actually two opportunities. The Victory Television Network, 3:30 p.m. Central Time, and the Christian Television Network, Coast to Coast on DirecTV Channel 376, and Dish Network, Channel 267. That's Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Speaking of video, you can bring the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference to your home via video. The live stream is available again this year. 3 different packages, the main room, the Aspen room, or both for a discount. And this year, the presentations will be archived for 6 weeks after the conference. All 32 of the speakers of the conference will be featured. You'll find more information online at prophecywatchers.com. Your support is crucial to us at SkyWatch TV. In the month of April, our thank you for your support, your donation of $20 or more, we'll send you this Amazing Grace glass block paperweight, a very decorative ornament reminder of what the gospel is all about, the amazing grace of Jesus Christ, and a copy of the Ahriman Gate audiobook, the novel by Tom and Nita Horn, done in audio form on the CD. Again, our gift to you for $20 or more. For information and to donate, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And as always, I remind you that your mouse finger can also help us by clicking like, clicking share, or clicking subscribe at these places online. And if you're curious about the stuff I post to my website, Twitter feed, Facebook, those addresses are there. My email address for your comments, questions, and suggestions, dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV. Most American families are just 72 hours away from disaster. Here at SkyWatch TV, we hope we can help avoid that.
I have been given permission to tell about this massive deal. There's one packet where you get one of each of these, breakfast and entree buckets, and again, 25 years shelf life. With that, you will get 15 of these Wise Fire packets. You'll get one of this water bottle. It will filter 99.9% of the impurities out of your water. Also, you will get for free this awesome auto kit.
Now, there's another package.
There are 2 more packages. The second package, you get 3 of each bucket. You pay for those, and you get the auto kit free, you get the Wise Fire free, and you get 2 of these bottles. There's a third deal. You won't believe this one. You get 6 of each of these. You get the auto kit free, you get the Wise Fire free, you get 2 bottles. Guess what else? You get the Mac Daddy 50-gallon water storage container. If the electric grid goes down, one of these is going to come very handy.
3 packages for preparedness, one that feeds a family of 6 for a month, one that feeds a family of 6 for 3 months, and one that feeds a family of 6 for half a year, and of course that includes the 50-gallon water tank. You'll find all of those deals online, the Wise Food Preparedness Specials at skywatchtvstore.com.